Hey, Ellen.
What now, Chris?
Ellen, it is Sunday morning in California doing the spring trials. This is glorious. Now, folks, I know it's compelling to watch our videos. And with our videos, you don't need to come to California, but you ought to come to California if for no other reason
for the
than
weather.
The beautiful weather, the fresh air. It's just like nice out. It's probably 60 degrees or 65. It's very nice. And we are working. Wait, who are we?
What? Why are we working Sunday morning?
Well, because there's a greenhouse full of flower and plants out here and suppliers that we need to cover for the 2019 California Spring Trials. We're Chris and Ellen, and we are in Buellton.
Buellton, California.
That's right up the street from
the
Pea Soup Anderson's at Windmill Nursery, which is a little tiny retail garden center where they have a greenhouse that they lease out to these companies that we're going to take a look at right now as we walk inside. So come along, Jen. Here at Windmill, they've got some hard goods suppliers. One of them is Pele Mix, and they've got an interesting new product here. Pele is actually, this is coconut core, and this is a new product called Canna Mix, and it starts as a bag, like this, with a compressed chunk of the coconut core in there. You wet it, it expands outward, and you can plant your, well, in this case, your cannabis plant. Or a silk cannabis plant.
There's also citrus uses, I think.
Yeah, I think there's probably some ornamental uses for that as well. There's 3 different sizes of that. Then you got Dram over here, and Dram is, well, everybody knows Dram for their sprayers, their irrigation equipment. They've got foamers, they've got all kinds of cool things. They're really promoting their entire water management system for the greenhouse. And they're also doing a lot of work in cannabis, not like that silk cannabis plant. Who needs a silk cannabis plant, Ellen?
Can't smoke it.
I guess not. Anyway, but we do have plant people, and right over here we have Jberry, and we're going to sneak inside there and take a look at some new begonias.
This is a beautiful display, isn't it, Chris? And look how they took an old greenhouse, add a little bit of fabric, and just classing it up.
This is an old 2x4 greenhouse. Over there, rundown looking. Over here, as elegant as a wedding venue.
Especially with the chandeliers.
Right.
And the crown jewels.
Because it's befitting of some of their latest genetics that they're promoting here at Spring Trials, which are the crown jewel begonias. And we always ask, what's new? What's new? These are so new they aren't yet named.
Exactly. So you can't order them
like
tomorrow.
a name attached to our plant, otherwise we have to make up the names. But we do know the begonias. But the key to the crown jewels is they're really tough. They're heat tolerant, they're disease and pest resistant. So that's one great thing. The other great thing is you can use them for pretty much anything.
Indoor, outdoor, containers.
Patio, landscape. So it can be a gift plant. It can be I'm thinking of it like heucheras or coleus. They have many of the same uses and much of the same kind of characteristics with the wide variety of foliage, shape, and texture and color. And think about POP as well.
Exactly.
They're kind of doing a test here to show what you could do with an easy shipper.
Just as beautiful and elegant as the display over here, and very pretty.
That's right. So that's new crown jewels. Are there 4 or 5 of them new?
I think there's 4 that they have, maybe 5.
And a bunch more coming.
And a bunch more coming.
So watch for those. All right, now we're going to head across the way over here to 2-plant. It's time to plant. It's time to go to 2-plant. 2-plant, we covered last year with quite a few lilies. This is a Dutch lily breeder. They didn't really show us anything new in lilies this year, but they have a wide variety. But what they did show us is lily research. And we'll hit a couple of things really quickly. How about lilies for Christmas?
That's a great idea.
Ellen?
Why not?
So they did a survey through the Home Garden Panel, which is run by Metrolina Greenhouses, and they asked the question of a bunch of, like thousands of consumers, if these were available at Christmas, would you purchase them? And they've got a $9.99 one and an $8.99 one, and only 28%, well about a quarter said they wouldn't purchase a lily for Christmas, but everybody else, so probably almost 3/4 of them, would have purchased one of these with a poinsettia or instead of a poinsettia.
Right.
And most would have picked the more expensive one. You know? So
good info.
Yeah. 13% would pick that one instead of a poinsettia. And
not a horse.
only 7%
We'll
would
have more
pick that
to
one. Yeah. So anyway, another piece of information right over here. This one's very interesting. Not that wasn't.
Oh, this is cool.
For years, Lily Looks has been offering 6-packs
Use that one.
of lilies, all one color. For instance, this would be 6 yellow lilies. Well, through the same garden panel bit of research, they found out that half the people would rather have 6 colors in this instead of just one. And so they've worked up a program with, I think they said Master Tag, to do a tag showing 6 different Lily Looks lilies. So if you are selling one color of lily,
you're missing the boat on all those others.
Yeah.
Because more people would buy that.
Consumers want more color. Onward, Ellen, this way. We're going to shoot past, well, Gadget Gardens is over here. No specific new varieties to talk about. One of the reasons is they sell everybody else's genetics. So many of the things we'd see here, we've already seen elsewhere from, for instance, their partners Darwin Perennials, Greenfuse Botanicals, we were there yesterday. Doom and Orange, we're heading there this afternoon. Huger, which does hellebores.
Yeah, they're right there.
Right, so that's what's going on with Gadget Gardens. Meanwhile, over here we've got Oasis Grower Solutions, which does root cubes and wedges and horticubes. So all the solutions you need, especially if you're a propagator. Kientzler, Ellen?
Yes, that's where we are.
German breeding company, been around a long time. Probably know more about vegetative products than just about anybody else. And they've got a lot of them here on display. And the first we're going to take a look at is a new sub-series of verbena called Vepita Up. And it's
indicating upward growth?
Yes, it complements their regular verbena Vepita series, which is down here, which is your typical sort of spreading type.
That was previous, but this Vepita Up is brand new.
Goes more upright for containers and things like that. Easy for the grower to keep manageable on the bench too. And we've got 4 colors: lavender and hot pink and a white and a burgundy. Now there's no red, but they're working on that and other colors as well. So that's Vepita Up. Now here's another new series of Nemesia. Now they've got an existing series called Baby Cake, which is your traditional real early spring type, but those peter out by the time it starts to get warm, right? You want something that's going to last into the summer. You want Fairy Kisses, which is a fruticans type. So because it has a little more heat tolerance, doesn't have quite the same sort of colors as the baby cakes, but you do get some of these really nice bicolors.
Yes, from the fruticans.
Like this one, Ellen.
Oh, boysenberry. First time ever, I think, for
that's a new fruit color flavor for us at Trials, as is citrine. Normally you'd call that lemon, but citrine sounds classier.
And vanilla berry.
And the vanilla berry. So there's some
so they last longer through the spring and summer.
Right. Now here's a bit of a breakthrough breeding-wise in Bidens. Bidens were used to these orange and bright yellows. White is a tough one to breed for because it tends to get sort of leggy and rangy. And they've got a new one called Bee White, which, as you can see, is the same habit as their other Bidens. Now, I will say the flower form and flower power is not up to snuff with these others, but I like to think that will come as they continue to breed.
I just noticed there's a little bit of pink in there.
Little pinking, which can happen sometimes when it gets cool. And a little gappiness there, but at least we've got the habit down. Now, we're going to swing through here, past these folks, hey guys, to 2 more introductions. The first being some David Curley genetics. Ellen, remember we met David Curley? It seemed like one year everything was bred by David Curley.
And then there he was.
We finally met the man himself, and he's still at it. He's breeding compact double petunias for Kientzler, and or at least giving them the genetics. This is one called Rose Pink. Very nice flower and a good color. There's also a lavender, but they didn't have that to show, probably back in David Curley's greenhouse somewhere. And last but hardly least is a New Guinea Impatiens series called... These are Calibracoa. Where did I just come up with New Guinea Impatiens? How did that happen? Excuse me. Calibracoa called Pocket. Why don't you explain it before I really screw up, Helen?
Pocket, well, it's small enough to fit in your pocket. Well, if you had a really big pocket. But it's a compact, nice, rounding habit here. And 3 really vibrant colors. I got yellow and hot pink and red over here.
Yeah, certainly the beginning of a series needs a much broader range of color, but it's a good start. The idea, they said, is it starts small, compact, easy for the grower and the retailer to handle on the bench, but for the consumer, like you and me, it'll take off in our garden. So
and I want it.
That's the idea behind Pocket, and we'll find Andreas Kientzler and mooch a case of these for you. So anyway, that is all of the different stuff going on here at Windmill Greenhouse in Buellton, California, part of the 2019 California Spring Trials.